Hello, my name is Ketchie. I'm the team commander of DMAT Florida 4, which is a disaster medical assistance team under the National Disaster Medical System under the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So this is a health and medical task force is here at Manati, and our goal is to conduct a few missions. First is to support the community for any injuries that might take place post-hurricane. And our goal here with the medical care that we have is for injuries as well as illnesses. And additionally, we have what is called a federal medical station, and that's a care station for people who need required electricity or oxygen for their daily life and their daily care. So that's a good mix of goals and missions that we have here. And to support that, we have a wide variety of medical staff and wraparound staff. So being the team commander, I would be considered a wraparound staff. So we have physicians with all kinds of backgrounds, emergency medicine, family medicine, pediatricians, baby doctors, just all kinds of physicians, as well as practitioners, nurses, paramedics, and then we also are partnering with non-government agencies, and one is through an EMAC with the state of New York. An EMAC is an emergency management compact, and they, in partnership with Puerto Rico, have sent physicians, nurses, and a very similar like group, and they have nursing assistants and a big care team to help support patients that are in the federal medical station. And so they're there, and you can see you've seen the floor lined with cots. And some of the more acute patients in that area, they do require ventilation support, and we also support hospice patients. And so our goal here is to keep them as comfortable as possible, address and identify and treat all of their medical needs, and support them with chaplain care, behavioral health care, and the local chaplains also come in and check in on their patients. So with the cooperation between the DMAT team, the EMAC, Department of Defense, who's running the ambulances out of here, and as well as the EMAC, we have a very tight coordination effort to care for all the patients that come here. And to give you an idea, since the hurricane, we've seen almost now 5,000 patients since we've arrived. Well, that's very fluid because different teams come in at different times. So like, for example, the VA, they may be here a week before us and leave a week before we leave. EMAC folks may be here 3 weeks. So our resources are really coordinated at our incident response coordination level. And so they're the ones who can identify the upcoming needs, are moving resources around based on what's needed. For example, yesterday the Comfort, the USS Comfort has been at Pier 3, and when they put a DMAT at the pier, it was a lot of patients went there. So we may send some of our staff there, and when they're finished with their job there, they may be pulled elsewhere. So we all have very similar job functions, and so if you're a DMAT nurse here, you could work in this environment, such as Manati, in a shelter, or you could work on the pier in an acute care setting, or you could work on a strike team, or you could work on an assessment team. So the types of missions vary. Yeah, here in Manati, it's been fantastic. The local community has supported us with a lot of college students who are interpreters, housewives, people who they normally would be working right now, but their job site is closed down. And they have been coming here to volunteer, to be interpreters, to help feed, and just to love on their fellow community partners and their people who live there, to let them know that they're supporting them. So it's a huge integration, and we very much welcome them. The immediate footprint around this arena, there's no electricity. So people know that they can come here. We have quite a few, a dozen or better, people who come here at night only because they need the CPAP machines to help them with their breathing at night. And when they're done in the morning, they get up and they leave. But we also have those who require electricity 24/7 to help them with their breathing. And so they are here and will remain here until there's some type of stability or there's a different footprint that's set forth. But in the meantime, they are here with their family, and we're here to support them. So for those coming in through the DMAT injury process and intake, is it roughly about 200 a day. Could be 190 to 220. We're still in that neck of the woods of around 200 a day. And as far as shelter patients, we're still looking at around 45 patients a day. And that can vary based on what's happening as far as electricity in the community. Anytime the electricity drops in the community, we see more of a surge where it has tried to come up. So right now we're holding these folks who require electricity just for stability in the community before they even request to discharge and to go back to their homes, because right now none of them have electricity. So I've been in the National Disaster Medical System since 1997, and I have no idea what number deployment this is, but it was funny. I ran into some people who came by here and they said, I remember running into you in Hurricane Charlie in 2004, and they literally broke open their cell phone and flipped back and said, hey, you remember this picture? And we just have a big laugh to know that time has marched on, and we're like, we're not in our 20s or 30s anymore, but that we still have this passion for it. We started this when our kids were like 5 and 6, and they're both well into their college years now, and the people that I have gone through this process with on my team have been doing this in the 20-something years. So it's been a very stable team that has stuck with it through the years. I can't imagine what else I would be doing other than to come here in the time of need. I think you're given gifts in life, and that you should use those gifts to serve others. I hate the hokiness of how that sounds, but that's just a truth in my life. And I see it in everybody around me. So to be able to use those gifts to come into an austere condition, suck it up, but to know that somebody else is hurting and you could be there and be a difference in the life of just one person is huge. And I'm all about impacting lives one at a time. And if that's to be here to make sure they're comfortable, they're not in pain, that their family feels secure and loved on, and that they know that there's an immediate future and comfort in what's going on here, I'm all about it.
Cool, then give me one moment. We're going to shit camera all over to
Well, you know, just what impressed me the most, because we just got here. We just got here yesterday. Wow, I was going to say 2 days ago, but yesterday. And there was a person in hospice, and they were expecting them to pass, and they did. And this crew that had been here for a while, they lined up in a long row, making a human corridor, and stood in silence as the funeral team came in, gathered their loved one, covered them, and the body and the family walked out. And when they did, they walked through this corridor of dignity, and everybody put their hand over their heart, and tears were just coming down the faces of the providers who'd been caring for this gentleman. I get goosebumps just talking about it. And the woman stopped and she said, I cannot tell you all what it means to me to know that you have cared for my dad in his last days and have made him absolutely comfortable. He was not in pain. You took great care of him. This may be the best kept secret there is, but to know that my dad died in your care, and when I say you, I mean the VA, EMAC, because they're the main care providers for him. She was just crying as she said so. She goes, you will forever be in my memory and grateful for how you cared for him. And as she and him went through this human chain lane of people, tears were coming down their eyes as they stood with their hands over their hearts and just honored the life of this man. And the family felt that, and they felt the love. And as they left, I just spoke over the team as to, this is what we're here for, this moment, just to give dignity and honor a life and see how much difference it makes in the life of just one family. And we just closed on that, and it just brought the message home of stay on top of it and put that good best foot forward, even if you're tired, even if you're not quite sure of how late you're going to work, or if you have all the resources you need, all that's irrelevant. Focus on your patient and everything else will work out well. Yeah, that's what it's been about, being fantastic here. All the people that have signed in and just like, how can we help? You know, you want us to clean? Do you want us to help feed? Do you want us to, is there anybody who's by themselves that we can sit with? You can very much see here in Manati the sense of community, and we're just thrilled to be a part of that. There is a gentleman here who is the guitarist and the singer. His wife is here, and she's one of the people who require oxygen. And not surprised that you haven't heard him yet, just you being here for the short time you've been here.
I already have.
So we had a transition of teams yesterday. So when New York 2 left and Florida 4 stepped in, he'd written called the Goodbye Song for them. And he came up when we were we do a tradition on our team. Everybody lines up, and the exiting team goes under our arch and are blessed well on their way out and loved on for their job well done. And he wanted to be part of that. So he came over and wrote a song and sang it to them. Oh my goodness, it was fantastic. And then we all pledged the flag together, all of us, all 60 or 70 of us that were there. And that was just a nice moment for all of us to share together. But this gentleman wrote a song for them, and he touched them. And he said it was because they touched him. And you see how that works and how it goes around, right? And so that was fantastic. And he's here, and he just loves on his wife, and he's at her bedside all the time. That's just a nice, heartwarming to see his joy. You know, one thing that's for all of us on DMAT, we all have a full-time job somewhere. And so it's so important to be able to give recognition to our employers who lets us unplug for 2 weeks a month to come and go out into the field, because for some of these folks, that's very impactful for where they work. So, you know, for us to be able to always take an opportunity to give a moment of thanks to those employers, because that's huge on their behalf, because they're having to backfill us back at home. People are having to do double shifts, and that's huge. And so, you know, the kids are missing us, the whatever we're doing, and so just you're looking for one of the human elements of that. Although it's a business element, our colleagues back at home are all also part of this because they're covering our shifts as well.
Yeah. Okay, ready? Okay. Gracias. Hoy quiero darle las gracias a todas esas mujeres y hombres que hoy Dios ha enviado aquí para ayudar a Puerto Rico en esta devastación, pero hoy se tienen que ir. Gracias, hoy quiero darle las gracias a todas esas mujeres y hombres que Dios ha enviado aquí para ayudar a Puerto Rico en esta devastación, pero hoy se tienen que ir. Thank you. Today I really want to thank you to all those men and women that God has sent to us to help our beloved Puerto Rico. But today you have to leave. Gracias, hoy quiero darle las gracias a todas esas mujeres y hombres que Dios ha enviado aquí para ayudar a Puerto Rico en esta devastación, pero que hoy se tienen que ir, se tienen que ir. My name is Santos Candelaria. I'm from Arecibo, Puerto Rico. I've been singing since I was 5 years old, and I'm still trying to sing because I never did learn. It's a joke. I'm 71 years old, and the reason why I'm here is because my wife is sick. She's an Alzheimer's patient, and we don't have no light. We don't have no water. We need oxygen, and we also need a generator. So until I get all that, we're going to be spending here. And we've been treated nice. We've been treated like king in here. So I got no complaint. I want to thank you, all those guys that have come to help us here in Puerto Rico. And I want to thank you guys too for giving me the opportunity to record this video. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.